Good evening, Zanzi. Hello, and welcome to South Africa's favorite lifestyle show, Festive Get-Together in the Life Artois, where we connect and host South Africa's favorite celebrities. My name is Onati, and I'm here with my A-team, Alessandro and Jono from Gemelli. Tonight, we're going to be unwinding with the Braai and some Stella Artois and two very hardworking gentlemen, Jay Something and Maponyane. We want them to unwind and relax over a Braai. We want them to save a life, and we also want them to celebrate the great moments that all start with a Stella.
Jay Something is João.
Who is Maponyane. I am someone who's really curious.
Maps and I have been friends for a while. I don't know the exact time. Matter of fact, maybe he knows.
We actually had crossed paths at a PR agency called Style and Concepts. And it was like, oh, damn, man. So dope to meet you, finally.
Besides the music and the food, which is, I guess, the things that I love, I'm at the core of it, I'm about love. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
I love being able to explore all the different facets of both myself and people around me.
My favorite go-to festive meal would be the things that I want to revisit because I don't get to live all the time. Arroz dos, which is like a sweet rice, which is a dessert that is like known for Christmas time.
It's not even just 7 colors, it's maybe 20 colors during the festive season. Like, you've got everything there.
Hosting for me is one of my favorite things because I get to be with the people that I really love,
My hosting style is, it used to be so bad.
One of the things that I really treasure were moments that I got to spend with Braai and him being at my house. Being around my kids and just being able to cook for him.
If I'm at home, obviously hosting, I'll bring different people together that don't all know each other, but I always find my friends who I'm like, damn, this one to get along with this one, and this one to get along with this one. I try and always curate those kinds of connections so that people can feel like they're there with their people.
How am I going to be present these holidays? One day at a time, Papa. Like, it's being present is something that I try and practice every day.
Spending as much time as I can with my niece. I'm a new uncle. More than likely this year will be a big breakfast and brunch.
So Alex, when it comes to these very hardworking gentlemen.
Hardworking is a strong word.
It's a very strong word. And
Hardworking is a strong word.
And I use it with intent.
Okay, all right. We're cooking for Jay Something and Little Maps. I call him Little Maps because I knew Maps when he was still working at Akajo. He joined the restaurant game like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
One of the ways of knowing that I could definitely give it a go was inspiration from this guy when he opened these amazing spots out in mainland.
Yes, sir.
And I was there, like construction. I was
Yeah,
there
exactly.
day one. I went back a few times.
I wanted you to be a part of it, and you mean something to me, which is why you're there. But I forgot about that moment.
The two of you are the classic example to me of when people say overnight success.
Totally.
Your intent with your studying, you're juggling 4 different things. You want to pay for your own studies. You're like, let me work at Akajo, right? And that's not good enough. Then you're like, let me intern at SA Fashion Week. And then people are going to say, no, but it's been given to him. No. That's been influential decisions that you've made that have changed your life, but that are changing other people's lives as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
totally.
And then Jay, we know you from Mikasa. Then you're like, actually, I'm a phenomenal cook.
I know a thing or two in the kitchen.
So it's something.
Do you know
What?
what I mean?
I didn't even see that coming.
You know.
Even you're listening intently, then you're like,
Exactly.
Cincinnati, why you gonna come with
You know what I mean?
Jay's so freaking amazing.
Do people realize what you have gone through to be where you are today as individual men?
I think people never quite realize it all. I think we live in a society that shows the destination so often.
Yeah.
A destination that isn't even the destination to us. It's still the beginning of the journey a lot of the time. And and we're only on our way to wherever it is supposed to be, that they're not really interested in that whole journey. Because even when people ask about how to get involved in what we do or how we do what we do, it's never about how do you really do what you do. It's just like, how do I get there?
Yeah.
There's like this thing that goes in my head of like, if you want to leave a legacy, either like write something worth reading or do something worth writing about. So I think on a daily basis, I try and do things that are worth writing about. That's one of the things where it was one of the most liberating things to not care at all the whole time what people thought or how they felt about
Because
you
your
and
dreams
your
are too
career.
important to you.
Exactly.
I find a lot of similarities in what we stand for and what we're trying to achieve.
João, would you change anything? I mean, being so close to music, but also just not doing the actual music.
Yeah, I'm not really obsessed with trying to change things. I think things are what they are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you say that, I don't think I realized the journey that it took, and I think it
But
has
you
a lot to do with pursuing things innocently. When you kind of like, I didn't plan half of the things that I do.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that I do.
They happen. They happen to me.
Pursue them innocently.
Pure-heartedly.
You go after this thing that you love, and then next thing you know, like literally, I've been singing since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Working in a studio and getting turned down by people, like literally just asking for like advice, can you teach me how to sing?
Yeah.
And being harshly turned down by people that now I look at and I'm like,
Can I
You should have told me how to sing.
yeah, but I
You should have told me how to sing.
from that. I learned what I
What
didn't
did
want to
you-
be.
Yeah.
I learned what I like. That's why Mikasa's called Mikasa.
Yeah.
Because it's like my house is your house.
Yeah.
I wanted to make this thing up because it's not about me, man.
Yeah.
It's all about being able to use the position of influence to actually make a positive influence, to actually try and leave the world a better place.
As men, I have to ask you. You both knew each other at a place where you weren't as powerful, you weren't as accomplished, even though this is not the end. But what are the kinds of conversations that you possibly have with each other that we possibly assume that you don't need?
I think from the jump for us, our first kind of like real conversation where we really connected was the first time we intentionally made a plan to meet up.
Yeah. I recall us linking up Melrose Arch to talk about books.
Yeah.
And we were gonna do something together to get more books in the hands of kids.
Yeah, and I think like that's always what's drawn me towards Jay. There is no pretense.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
And I remember that being quite a pinnacle. I don't know if I couldn't remember if that was the day we actually connected. I think like for me the first thing that pops to mind is like it's not so much the conversations that we have. I think it's more the people you surround yourself. I don't even need to talk to you sometimes to be inspired by you. Yeah. And I think that's it. It's the idea of having people around you that can give you that energy that can make you a better person.
There's very few guys that have a relationship like that. And if they have that kind of friendship, they're blessed to have that.
Aren't you hungry?
Super.
Can we go catch up
Smells
with Jono?
great.
so
Let's
we
go
can
see
find
what
out
Jono's
what's
up
on
to.
this
Yeah.
menu?
John was a little excited about this menu, to be honest.
Was he?
He heard there was a guy, some Porter guy. You already know I'm coming for you. I knew it.
Both of you speak of your mom with such high regard.
He had a bit of like an abusive relationship with my dad.
It's been really important for me to always make my mom proud. No matter what I kind of would do, it was never quite enough.
Forever, never, never. Forever, never, never.
It's never about how do you really do what you do. It's just like, how do I get there?
Yeah.
I find a lot of similarities in what we stand for.
And I think like that's always what's drawn me towards Jay.
The idea of having people around you that can give you that energy that can make you a better person.
Gentlemen, it's prize season.
Yes.
Akiramos, they say December is not a month, it's a season.
Yeah.
Prize season is a season as well. So we wanted to do things differently today.
I think it's Jono's time to tell us
Guys,
what he
please.
cooked.
Okay. Buena fala português?
No, parlare italiano io sono.
Yeah.
Perché sono troppo romano.
Hello, darling.
Tonight's dinner.
Yes.
Yes.
Just taking what you guys love over the festive period, something that really brings back the memories. Jay, I know for dessert, your mom used to do a killer rice pudding.
Yes, arroz dos. Yeah.
Rojdosh. That's
Arroz dos.
so tonight we're doing something a little bit different because we are an Italian restaurant. We're giving you a milk chocolate risotto.
Wow.
It's the same principle. Perhaps I know you're quite keen on your mom's 7 colors. We've done that, but we've taken all the little elements and dried them individually.
Oh wow.
So everything's dried.
Oh, amazing.
On the spices.
Oh,
The
wow.
meat is the standout. We're doing classic South African peri-peri chicken. But
I'm glad it's not Portuguese.
I'm glad you said South African.
with strong Portuguese in.
Bring it back.
And I'm also
Amazing.
doing some lamb sausages,
Sure.
the traditional way.
I think Jono should take a bow for that.
You know, when you speak of food, obviously in feasting and festivities, family comes into play. And both of you speak of your moms with such high regard. Their influences in shaping you as men.
My mom is a big supporter. Sure. I mean, it's hard.
Like, when you talk about somebody's mom, you're like, you're gonna make me cry.
Yes, she had a career, but she's passionate about being a mother. And I always say that my mom is a mom. The reason why I am the way I am, you know, like, yeah, I take a lot of pride in how she raised me, and she was a single mom, so like we're very close. And I remember telling her after school, I feel like a steak. And it was not a thing. So she went to the grocery store and she found, that day she found a piece of meat that, let's say it should be 100 Rand, now the packet said 10 Rand. And she didn't understand why, but she didn't question anything. And she went to the till, they swiped it through for 10 bucks, and she came home and she was like, I got you a steak. When she tells me the story, I realized what she thought is that she was like, what are the chances? Because it was actually a print mistake.
Yeah.
Maybe it should have been 110, but it was 10.
Yeah.
So it was like a bizarre price.
Yeah.
It was not like a discounted price.
She's like, the fact that you spoke about it that day.
The fact that she got it, that she found it, she was like, wow, she could give this for me. And that's the type of mom she was, and she is still. She's always been like a shield and a protector. The way that my mom sheltered me, and looking now at me being a parent, and I guess my cards that I've been dealt with. She taught me a lot about the imagination through parenting, because she had a bit of like let's say an abusive relationship with my dad at a point, and she would occasionally get kicked out the house, and I would see her getting kicked out the house, and the one day she took me with, and she said, now pack sheets in a black plastic bag, we're going on a camp. We're camping. We were staying in like a complex.
Yeah.
And I'm packing sheet, my clothes, my toys, and we went and we stayed in the garden of the complex. But
Yeah.
we put a tent up,
She
and
made it an adventure for you.
made it
it was this adventure.
Yeah.
And it taught me like the power of imagination and the power of shielding, and just her ability to like always show me the positive in things. I've always been sheltering my kids. I sheltered my wife for very long. I still shelter the people that I love very closely. That lesson, that story that I shared, only now do I realize that it kind of has shaped me in the way that I am now as a parent. She was phenomenal, man.
And Max, I know, always longing for your parents to be proud of you, and hearing the words "I'm proud of you" is just it's impactful.
The kind of relationship that I have with my mom,
Yeah.
and how exceptionally close that we are. I think through school, and you know how hard I would work in school, and how no matter what I kind of would do, it was never quite enough. It was really difficult then finding my thing and going my way and doing that to be able to survive and to be able to provide back for the family and for the people who you place on this pedestal, but then realizing that things go wrong. It's been really important for me to always make my mom proud in all that I do. In fact, my whole family. But then still be kind of told, this is not what we sent you to school for, or you know, this is not why you were working the way you're working to study at varsity and then end up, you know, going and modeling or acting. I mean, how is that a real? And then actually then kind of reaching a point or height that they both were kind of like, geez, people are constantly talking about you. I think being able to do all those things while I was studying and paying for varsity, while I was working 3-4 jobs, and still making a name, while not kind of resting on the laurels of a name that existed within my family.
Enormous pressure in itself.
Yeah.
Right.
When I'm doing things, it's a lot of the time to honor her and to know that she can, lift her head up proudly, as she does, and remark that, oh, that's my son, But it's also reaffirming the fact that they were good parents.
Oh.
In spite of everything, they were good parents. It's important to allow them to get to that point where they can sit back and just be like, damn, I think we did a good job.
Shall we eat?
Yes, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, this looks insane.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
In front of you, this
Yeah,
is
absolutely, go for it.
the bride.
7
Oh,
colours.
wow,
Oh,
look
that
at
looks
that.
amazing.
So good. You can actually just sit there right here.
Jeez, that looks amazing.
Portuguese friend.
Hey, chef, amazing man.
Oh, that looks insane.
That's
May we introduce someone to the dinner party?
Oh. I've been on a prank show before. This isn't a good time to prank some.
No, there's no way. There's no.
It's forever, never, never. It's forever, never, never.
Both of you speak of your mom with such high regard.
It's been really important for me to always make my mom proud.
He had a bit of like an abusive relationship with my dad.
No matter what I kind of would do, it was never quite enough.
So can we, if you don't mind, may we introduce someone to the dinner party? A guest who possibly taught you about your palate so that you can give Chef the compliments that you're giving today. Is it okay if we allow Mama Joao to join us?
Whatever.
Who's that? These people are? Who's that?
You guys know how to. I've been on a prank show before. This isn't a good time to prank some.
Oh my God! I've been in that moment of seeing Jay's reaction to his mom coming on.
Yeah.
It felt so dope as well to have her right there.
What a surprise!
Well, I was embarrassed
Why?
to surprise you.
Oh my God!
We're embarrassed.
And then I heard Maps was here, and Natty was here, and I said, well, I have to go.
It's quite interesting to hear her say she was going to come for Jay, but was glad to come for me, which is
That's okay, bro.
So while you're taking the rebut to your mom, Maps, I know Christmas is special for you in that there's a routine yearly. Why is it so important for you to spend Christmas morning with Mama?
When I was growing up, apart from my brother, my mom was my best friend. I always try to make sure I'm in town, make sure I'm in the country, to make sure that at least on Christmas morning we're together. Before I have to go anywhere else, it's something that I always want to keep. And it's we've always had, since I was tiny, she would always come, kind of wake me up. She'd be the person who wake me up in the morning. And I think that memory is carried on, that I'd always love for that to always continue.
So do you mind if we continue those grown conversations this evening?
Absolutely.
Mama?
Oh.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Immediately I'm thinking, well, there's definitely no way they managed to get my mom, because she's definitely not about that life. Oh, no way! How? Mama Macy. Oh, Mom, the guy. Sure. Oh, you look so beautiful. Thank you. Come on, dude. To see her come out was pretty amazing.
How do I raise a son?
Let the
How
sun
do I
raise
stand?
you.
Ah, Mama, did you just say that? I must let him raise me.
You just learn with them. You grow with them. And it's so beautiful, Natty.
For me, what makes a great meal is the people that you get to share it with. And as far as like great meals go, that's definitely a memorable one.
As they grow, they become your friends. Actually, he used to be my friend. He honestly he used to be my shopping friend.
She still does send me pictures for approval of whether or not you should buy the odd outfit or shoes.
Can I be honest?
Yes.
To think that when he was young,
Yes.
he was a stutterer.
Did you stutter?
I had a long time.
From being someone who struggled a lot really young with the stutter and trying to find their place, and knowing that, you know, my mom was really fighting that with me. It was a lot of work. It was tough times for her.
Were you?
You know, she hated. I mean, gosh, she couldn't.
I mean, he'd go, Mama, can, and then I would say, boo.
And to have overcome it, and to now literally only do work that requires me to speak non-stop, is just dope how it's worked out. Yeah. Books are what saved my life in that regard, because I had to do a lot of reading aloud, trying to speak aloud to try and get some sort of rhythm going, so I could try and speak properly and get sentences out and not stutter the whole time. What she just did there was so poignant, because this time next year there'll be, and she doesn't know, so this will be, I was having it for the first time. This time next year, because of that story, there'll be a children's book out called Rua. And it's based on my kind of
Beautiful
upbringing.
Your beautiful upbringing.
And overcoming my stutter and the confidence that came with through very low self-esteem, being a very, very tyrannous child.
And now you're on the verge of becoming a published author because your mom said,
Boo.
that's phenomenal.
That's amazing, bro.
Allow us to take a short left. Kindly watch the screens, please.
You guys. Hey, man.
Hey Maps, as they call you in the streets. Just wanted to let you know how incredibly proud I am of you. You're an amazing human. You've achieved so much and done so many things in a relatively short life and young life. But yeah, like, you know, even when you were still on the come up, so to speak, and people were just like, who's this kid? And, you know, through hard work, smart perseverance and making the right moves and being a general good human, most of all.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey.
I know that we agreed that I was not supposed to appear on TV so that people wouldn't see, like, who is the more handsome brother here. They paid me a fortune, so I had to do it, man. I'm just joking. At least at the part that they paid me a fortune. Anyway, like, I think what's cool is that anything that I'll say here, I've been able to tell you personally, and that keeps me really happy. And the first and most important one of it all is that I love you. Hope we together soon, and Nush, Deutsch, peace.
I thought it was so dope to have that, because we have a very similar setup, you know. We're the second of two, and both speaking so, you know, so admirably about us.
And this is why we wanted to make this our stellar moment, to congratulate you mothers for these phenomenal men that are extremely influential in the world, and not just in South Africa, but the world. So thank you to all of you for your time and your love, and thank you for trusting us with your blood.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
And then to have both our mothers there was something so special, that is a reminder of this period and not wanting to take it for granted at all, you know. That all felt really, really, really important.
My highlight of the evening is seeing these two boys become men. Like, I think for them, they've been becoming men. For me, my last highlight of both of them, they were boys. Now they're men.
It was so overwhelming to hear how your mother speaks about you, and just to see the perception that they have of us, and I think the pride that they beam with.
What a refreshing time I've had here at Festive Get-Together in the Life Artois. It's always great to have mindful conversations with wonderful people, and hosting starts with a Stella in the Life Artois. So raise the moment with an amazing Stella Artois hosting kit. If you want to win, all you have to do is follow us on Twitter. Our handle is Stella Artois ZA, and follow the hashtag Festive Get-Together to find out how you can enter.
Broadcast live